I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be, let's see where this friendship will go. It ain't going to go anywhere. So I got an email here from a viewer who had a woman that actually said that. He's basically been interacting like a friend, and he thinks by continuing to interact like a friend, it's going to turn into romance. Bad fucking way to go. So I got a quote that I wrote on this topic, and then we're going to jump right into his email. And the quote says, if you are in a fearful state that you won't get what you want, you often will accept terms that are undesired or not what you want at all. In any relationship, if you accept treatment, behavior, or status that is not what you are seeking, you communicate that you don't feel you are deserving of the very best. The truth is, you deserve awesome friends, lovers, and people in your life. If you accept mediocre or settle for anything that is less than you deserve, you will attract more of the same. The more you settle and prostitute your feelings, wants, needs, dreams, and desires, the more you will sap and sabotage your happiness and enthusiasm for life. It's always better in the long run to your overall happiness and well-being to keep working on yourself, perfecting your life, and becoming what you want to attract, instead of settling and deluding yourself into believing you will ever be satisfied with mediocrity. So the viewer says, hey Coach Corey Wayne, I'd like to start off by saying I've definitely learned a lot from your How to Be a 3% Man book, and after reading it for the third time, well, that's good. Good job. I'm still going to continue to read it 10 to 15 times. By reading it that much, you get to know it so well you don't have to think about it. And then the video newsletters can really help you implementing the things that I teach in my book. He says it's definitely pinpointed the flaws and serious mistakes I've been making on picking up women. So cut to the chase. I've known this particular woman for several years that I've been extremely interested in. We met each other on Facebook in early 2011, 3 years ago, and somehow clicked through the mutual things we have in common: hobbies, activities, interests, philosophy, etc. He says the only problem is that she lives in Seattle and I live in the Bay Area, California. We were finally able to meet in person when I flew to Seattle for New Year's Eve in 2012 to visit some friends. We were at a party, so we couldn't get to know each other on a personal level, but still hit it off. Hang out, have fun, hook up. You're at a party, go into a corner, go out on a balcony somewhere, go out front, go out back, where the two of you can chit-chat, and when the chemistry's there, she's looking at your lips while you're standing real close, or she's touching your arm, go for the kiss. This tells me you're a nice guy who's trying to reform his ways. In other words, you figured, hey, I'll just be a really great friend, and then maybe eventually she'll fall for me, just like I see in all the movies. I headed back to the Bay Area with her contact info and kept in touch since. I realized as time went on that the woman was a bit arrogant and a challenge, which is a very attractive trait to me. Translation: I allowed her to walk all over me and treat me like a doormat and jerk me around, but you know what? Because I liked her so much and she treated me like I was a jackass, that, wow, I decided that I really like her. Since she never really initiated contact with me outside of social media. So in other words, I did all the chasing and pursuing like the typical nice guy that you see in the movies, figuring, hey, I'll act like a stalker and eventually she'll fall in love with me. She never really called or texted me since she was so used to seeing me active on Facebook and Instagram, and only after texting her once. He says, I never pursued, though. You are definitely bullshitting yourself, bro. Oh my God. He says, I surprised her on Valentine's Day 2013 by shipping her flowers and a teddy bear to her girlfriend's house, to which she was in surprise and shock. In other words, she thought it was a little weird and creepy. Sending it to her girlfriend's house? What's that all about? I did it as a gentleman. In other words, I did it as a bribe for sex, and hopefully she'd want to be my girlfriend, because I saw it in a movie once, and it worked in the movie. Well, the guy that wrote the script was just as successful as you are with women, bro, which ain't very successful, because this is a fantasy. This shit doesn't work in real life. You send flowers and teddy bears to your girlfriend and the love of your life, not some girl you haven't even kissed or gone on a date with. Especially not a girl who you're calling and texting all the time like one of her gay male girlfriends. He says, I did it as a gentleman, regardless of how she interpreted the situation of getting some flowers and a teddy bear from a guy she didn't know so well. I should tell you, that's a little weird and creepy, bro. He says she thanked me and was speechless over the phone. She only kept in touch with me on social media for another 8 months before reaching out to me again through text messages during the holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas. She started getting more flirty and pursued... See, like you're talking, you just say, hey, you know what, you should come visit me in the Bay Area. Why don't you look at flights, book a ticket, and come see me? And she gives you any other kind of wishy-washy response. You're like, okay, well, if you ever want to come see me, let me know. He says she started getting more flirty and pursued more conversations, to which she surprised me by saying she was coming to my city for a baptism in January 2014. I told her to let me know when she was available and called me the night before we linked up. I took her out and we did it all. Sightseeing, a free outdoor concert, cable car rides, dinner, and some serious physical touching and bonding. Notice there's nothing about kissing there. I.e., I was really too nervous to go for the kiss, because what would she think if I tried to kiss her? I was like, maybe you like her? You send her flowers and a teddy bear, but then you go out with her and you like keep your hands to yourself? I used to do this shit too in my early 20s, thinking, like, when's the right moment to go for the kiss? I talk about this in my book. She had an amazing time, and we kept in touch since then. So in other words, you went out and just acted like the gay male girlfriend. Hey, gay male girlfriends touch and hug and kiss on the cheek as well, but they don't get no pussy. He says, long story short, I go back to Seattle for a wedding a few months later in May and link up with her. I took her outside in private and probably did what I shouldn't have, but I let it all out. You puked up all your feelings and told her how much you cared about her and how much she meant to you. And again, this is the same bullshit you see in movies all the fucking time. And of course in the movies she's like, oh, finally he revealed his feelings. Oh, I'm so in love. We're going to be together forever. I looked her in the eye and told her I was interested in her. Dude, she's figured that out by now, bro. But what she also has figured out is you don't have the balls to go for it. And that we should take this friendship to another level. I'm really interested. You know what? We should take this friendship to another level. The only way to do that would be for me to visit you here in Seattle. And with a hesitant smile, hesitant being the key word, she said, okay, we'll see where this friendship will go. Translation, it ain't going nowhere. I go back to San Francisco and call her a few days later, and she tells me that she couldn't tell me in person, but she's getting back together with her ex. Oh, you don't see that in movies. That doesn't happen. You're supposed to be living happily ever after, and she's getting shower rose petals and chocolates every day and wine and pampering and ass kissing and putting her on a pedestal, and she wants to have your baby. But here she says, you know, gosh darn it, I didn't want to tell you in person, but I got back together with my ex. She said it would be disrespectful for her to bring me out while she was trying to get back with her ex. She said she liked our friendship and how we're playful, but she doesn't want to lose me. Oh, I don't want to lose you. Women say the same fucking... It doesn't matter what country they're from. It's like they say the same shit. He says, I asked her if she could ever answer me 2 following questions. Can you imagine James Bond saying something like this? Number 1, do you see me as a potential relationship partner? Dude, you haven't even kissed her yet, and you're talking about relationship? Come on, man. And number 2, are you attracted to me? Well, that sounds really confident. That's total alpha male. You imagine James Bond, do you think you like me? That's like a little boy in kindergarten would act. Mommy, do you like me? Did I do good? Nah. The former she answered with, I can't tell you that. I don't know you. In other words, hell no. And the latter with, you're very handsome, but I need to know you well enough to answer you that question. Your question was, are you attracted to me? You're very handsome, but I need to know you well enough to answer you that question. In other words, she's saying, dude, you've already shown me enough that you're a fucking pussy, and I think you as a friend, but that's about it. I told her, we can still be friends, and ended the conversation. Dude, I feel for you, but this is like, this is a fucking train wreck, man. What else can you say? Since that conversation, I have never initiated contact with her whatsoever through Facebook, Instagram, phone calls, and text messages. I've ignored her pictures, updates, etc. Should I continue to ignore her or initiate contact again? What, do you want to spend another 3 years acting like the gay male girlfriend and not getting anywhere and having your blue balls be the size of fucking truck tires? Probably not. I would say, dude, put a fork in this. It is done. It's time to fucking punt. You're reading my book. I think you said 3 times. It's like, you read the book. It's like, and you still think that this is a good approach? Come on, man. Seriously. You are fucking delusional about this girl. You're delusional about the situation. It's over. It's like you lost. She went back to her ex. So apply the things I teach in my book and never again, just resolve to never again act like such a fucking wussy, dude. It's like your email is basically everything a guy should not do to try and attract a girl. This kind of approach is only ever going to get you in friend zone. And so never call, never text this woman again. If you ever hear from her, meaning she texts you, she phones you, she sends you a private message, she comments on your Facebook, just fucking ignore it. Remember, she's with her ex. So assume that the two of them are going to live happily ever after and you're never going to hear from her again. So therefore, if she sends you a direct message, a phone call, a text message, then say, oh, so I suppose you want to get together. When are you free to come visit me? And if she gives you some BS, say, you know what? Well, I'm only interested in you in a romantic sense. I don't want to just be friends. That just doesn't work for me. So if you'd ever love to come visit, I would love to have you. I'd love to take you out and have a great time and see where it goes. Don't fucking talk about a relationship to a girl. It's like you haven't even kissed her going out on a date yet, bro. It's just, go read the book again, because I know you said you read it 3 times, but it's like, you just willfully blinded yourself to the truth there, and it's like you didn't change your approach at all. So it's like, move on, start dating other women, but apply the things that you're learning from it, because if you keep taking the same approach, you're going to have blue balls for the rest of your life, bro. I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is. So if you'd like to get my help personally, the quickest way is to book a paid phone, Skype, or email coaching session. You can choose any of those options by going to my website, clicking the products tab at the top of your screen, and just following the instructions for booking whichever option works best for you. And I will talk to you soon.